Okay. Same thing as before. As soon as I open it, it starts. So I give it a second. Give it a second. Give it a second. Come on. There we go. It's just immediately like, poof. It's another short. I like them. They're cute. And it's knocking them out. The Change Architect. Dun, dun, dun. Similar vibe. If I'm not mistaken, this is the, like, controlling a protest. An apartment above a London street. You are a protest coordinator. You are the crowd's eyes and ears. You monitor the news, the police, and the protesters from safety. Then you instruct individuals in nearby crowds using a secure messaging app. In the distance, several 100,000 people protest throughout the capital. You are just inside Westminster, where the police are enforcing a no-go zone. In the High Court of Justice, at the center of it all, Baron Sugar is currently being handed a verdict. We protest and hope it's a progressive protest and not a BS protest. We're about to find out. Alright, Baron Sugar's being handed a verdict. Despite crystal clear evidence of election fraud, everyone is sure his party will be found innocent. If so, King Charles will ask him to form a government. If so, you're gonna burn the house down. Okay, so there's one. The medics finished building the aid station outside. Okay, let's see what else. Alright. I feel like I should keep my eyes on the monitors. So let's hold on, see. What is the quickest way to get to this? It's literally opposite ends of each other. Burn it all down!
No witnesses?
What up, Vince? Heck in. Alright, keep an eye on the news. Nick of time, the crowd will be here any minute. Just seen those 4 officers down the way figure it out and radio it in. They know we're coming now. God damn, I'm shaking, buzzing. It's real. Yeah, too real. This many people, they can't ignore us. Sugar will be gone this time tomorrow. How are you doing, Vince? Dear turns to observe you. And then, we keep pushing, demand complete reform, we get a fair election. Complete reform. Adi smiles at you. A revolutionary. I spent a year sharing a very small room with a revolutionary. He came from Ukraine. His side won, but it got him flagged as a troublemaker by the new security service anyway. They came for him, so he fled here. Sugar's supporters aren't going anywhere for a long time. Whatever comes next, they'll be on side for, or there'll be no peace. Okay, Vince, be safe. You hear the crowd draw near. Anyway, they're here. Tony. You clear your throat, shrugging off Adi's challenge. Approaching. Hi. What's up? Messages from the nearby crowd outside begin to appear on the laptop screen. You type a greeting. Red 5, standing by. Okay, I'm in contact. I get it. Already? What the hell? I see 2 cricket bats. Some have England flags. Most are plainclothes, and they're all in good shape. Maybe police? Ah, shit, racist. How many? Stay cool. 20 or so. What do you think we should do? Either tell our people to let them be or run them off. There aren't many, but they might cause trouble. Vince perplexed. Run the counter-protesters off or leave them alone. That is a difficult decision. Because if it's a small group, you could run them off, but then they might come back with more and be like, oh, they ran us off. Blah, 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 blah. And then now you have more. But if you leave them alone, they could be an issue down the road. I'm gonna say leave them alone. Leave them be, don't escalate, right? Like, don't escalate the situation. Peaceful protest. They're looking for trouble. Best not to engage. Plow time. Gonna let them be? What's happening, Adi? They're just milling around, jeering. Some of your people up front holding the others back so there's no retaliation. Some of the plainer ones have drifted into the crowd. You begin hearing small smashes puncture the crowd's passive hum. Ah, they're provocators. There we go. Gets in my snowplow. Tony? No. What? They've started throwing bottles and bricks from inside the crowd. Damn it. I'll see what I can do. God damn it. Stop anyone throwing jet. Y'all heard? Shut it down. Oof, they've done in windows on a few cars, some apartments, but Tony, yes. We got some people in the A-10 with injuries from glass, I think. And here come the cavalry. We got played. Cavalry? Yeah, the police are turning up en masse, it looks like. They formed a line. Shit! There's children in that crowd. Counter-protesters are bad enough. Can we de-escalate? Says they've seen tanks. Unlikely! Yeah. Getting cray. Police are advancing. Batons up. Uh-oh. They're headed for the aid station. Oh, Christ. They're gonna tear it down? Difficult to say, but they're definitely headed for the medics. They mean business. If we charge them, it's exactly the optics they want. Of course. Your hands tremble. Is it worth the risk? Decide. Defend the aid station! Oh, fuck it. Stop them! Protect aid station! The crowd outside roars forward to meet the advancing police. Sounds of a clash soon follow. Well, it's done the trick. Is it bad? No, they're just defending themselves, slowly backing up. A man just took a riot shield off one of the riot police. Pretty funny. Okay, they're in retreat. The crowd's emboldened, though, giving chase. Okay, pull back. I've told the crowd to let them go. Ones at the front haven't got the message. Let them run away. Ah, shit. I can see on the TV. Yeah, they've taken an officer down. This is bad. Oh, crap. You hear a deep metallic rumble approaching in the distance. It's not the tank, right? It's not the tank. I told yous. Large vehicle of some sort, can't see them yet. It's tanks, they brought the military in. Someone in the chat seems to think it's the military. Eyes on the vehicle is possibly military or just heavy police ordnance. It's bad news, either way. Tanks, Jesus. What about the TV? Oh! Just went off the air. Yeah, it was a tank! You quickly check other channels, nothing is broadcasting. Oh, crap. Ah, there's nothing here. Nothing at all. Even on the satellite connection? No broadcasts on any of the UK news channels. Gemina, yeah? The tanks are outside. And those counter-protesters from earlier who disappeared into the crowd, they just came forward and crossed the police line. They just let them through? Yes. This is insane. This area's no good. I'll reroute the crowd back the other way. Addy turns his head to look back at the road. Fudge. Fuck. We're kettled. What? What are we doing? While we were watching the tanks row up, they drove a line through the march way back there. Everyone on this road is blocked in. Oh, took my eye off the ball. So we're surrounded. No alleys to escape through? Addy takes a moment. Not that I can see, not without smashing up the shop fronts and trying to find a way through the buildings. And we don't have ground floor access on this side of the building. They can't get through here. Could march on, call the military's bluff, or charge backwards, hopefully break through the police and get away. Shit, they can't just sit there like ducks. We have to move now. Forward or back? I would say police is better, but I'm like, tanks, you could call the bluff. Oh, damn. I'm gonna say tanks, because I'm thinking like afterwards. Stay calm, give them no reason to act up. They're posturing, don't engage them, just show them we're not scared. You give your collaborators a moment to spread the message in the crowd and get things moving again. The crowd peacefully advances. Jem, I'm not sure about this. I can see a tank commanders talking. They look nervous. We keep things calm. They should. Well, tactically, if they actually wanted to use those tanks, they'd have to keep the crowd at range. They know they're losing that. Oh no! Please tell my parents I love them. Oh no! Oh no! Get us out, please! Addie splutters at the dust from outside. To get into buildings. Oh no! That won't be fast. Rush the police! Addie, are you okay? Addie thinks for a second, then is interrupted by tank fire and gunshots. Oh no! God, no, 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 no. Mobile internet is down. What is happening out there? You check your phone, it's completely disconnected, no signal. Are you getting messages on the laptop? So the laptop's still connected. Uh-oh. Okay. He's gonna climb down behind them? All depressingly plausible. Hey, Larrington, heck Ian! Especially agitators in the crowd to make them look like criminals. Yeah, like, that's a thing. Like, what was it? During the BLM protests, I remember people were like, wow, look at this conveniently placed pile of bricks just in the middle of the street. Really weird and suspicious. Yeah. Oh man, Audie's taking a big risk. Yeah, no, shit was crazy during those protests. See them fighting in the crowd. What do you say? I'm leaving, live to fight another day, I'll film from the window, get the whole thing. I'm down there with you, bro. I'm down there with you, all the way, Adi. I'd never stop you anyway. Adi smiles and embraces you. Okay, let's do it. You pull up social media on the laptop, tag the movement's main account, and start streaming the webcam. You pick up the laptop and awkwardly point at Adi, who removes the bit of tape over the camera. Good catch. He clears his throat and begins. I'm in Westminster. The military have just fired tank rounds into crowds of peaceful protesters. Let's see. Who charge? Oh. Oh, dang. They began by infiltrating the crowd with officers who started rioting to justify force against us. In response, police needlessly charged a first aid tent. When we defended it, this again justified escalation to them. They blocked up the crowd's exit and rolled in tanks up ahead of us. When we responded by marching peacefully onwards, they got nervous, cut off the TV networks and mobile signal, then opened fire with the tanks. The crowd tried to save themselves by approaching the tanks, but the army and police forced them back into range with gunfire. See for yourselves. You move to the window and pan the camera across the carnage. Adi then climbs out onto the window ledge. Nimbly, he shuffles down an old metal drain pipe, then drops himself to street level. You drop the laptop down to him as gently as possible, then follow. You approach the line from behind. He opens his arms wide to show the enemy he's no threat. Oh! They notice you, and several turn their weapons to Adi, clearly terrified. You fire tanks at a peaceful march. This country will never forgive what you did here today. Back down, the world is watching. A tank's turret begins to spin towards him. Lines up. From your position just behind him, the barrel is pointed right at the camera. They pause for a moment. You move in front of Adi now, recording the masked faces of the authorities. They can see comments popping up on screen. They yell at you to put the laptop down. A few officers lay down their weapons. A soldier removes his riot helmet to vomit. You point the camera back at Adi, tears on his face, terrified yet defiant. An officer grabs you from behind, and you are arrested. Adi's defiance goes worldwide. There are riots in over 70 countries decrying the treatment of migrants and failure of the democracy in the UK. The footage forces the viewer to stare down those obsidian dark barrels themselves. They feel an idea of what it's like to be there. It's a call to action. The UK erupts. King Charles, the House of Lords, and the government opposition step in to rewrite the UK Constitution. Baron Sugar loses the next election by a nail-bitingly small margin. A movement is galvanized. Are we okay? Would you like to save your decisions from the Change Architect? This will affect the story in the other games in the Sacrifice series and replace and yes! Yes, save my game! Save my game! Okay, oh, we're fine! It didn't get funded. Oh, it's so sad. It didn't get funded because it's a Kickstarter thing. Hold on, I show you. I show you. Don't worry. Don't worry. 1 second. Hold on. Remembers bookmarks bar. And it's like, let me hide that. There you go. Oh my goodness. World might be watching, but hardly ever does what should be done. Cool. So, this was, November of 2020. Unfortunately, did not get funded in time. Let's see the end. We made the decision to cancel the sacrifices. We were originally going to make it regardless of the success, just without the bells, whistles. But after listening to feedback from our audience and also from a former refugee consultant we've been working with behind the scenes, we realized that we wouldn't be happy realizing without the money to include the voices of those affected by the topics the game covers. Aw. Aw, man. So, let's see. Mentioned yesterday, the next thing is the Imagined Leviathan, our existential survival set in a post-climate change Britain. Cool. That's actually the prologue we're about to play next. Cool. So, 1 second. Let me set that up. Do.